Mastership. Comment, like, subscribe. Hello guys, so today we are going to be doing simplifying fractions. Now, before we actually simplify fractions, there's a quick lesson we're going to need to learn. So, here I have some quarters, I have some halves. Now, if I colour in 2 of those quarters, and if I colour in 1 of those halves, you should see there is the same amount shaded on each. So what I'm telling you is 2 quarters is the same as 1 half. Now you should be able to see if you just look at the numbers and forget those diagrams. All I have done is divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. That's simplifying fractions. Okay, so you can't split it up anymore. Now, as long as you treat the top the same as the bottom, it's fine. You can divide by any number. Okay, you can go mistreating them. The top isn't better than the bottom. One's not the first child and one's the second child. Obviously, first childs are best. Okay, now, as long as you treat the top and the bottom the same, you are laughing. So, let's do a quick question. 3/6. How do I simplify it? Well, all I have to do is see what I can divide the top and the bottom by. Remember, treat them the same. Now, obvious to me, divide by 3. Answer, 1 half. Done. That's simplified. I can't find anything else that divides into 1 and 2, other than obviously 1, but that's not going to help you, because you're still going to have a half. Okay, so that's my answer. Next, what about 30 out of 60? Now, straight away, I can see they both divide by 10. So I'm going to divide by 10, that gives me 3 out of 6. However, this is not the answer, because there is still something that divides into 3 and 6. As we've already said, pay attention guys, you divide that by 3 to get 1 half. 1 half is your final answer. Now, if you are a smarty bum, you might have realised I could have just divided that by 30. And that's fine, but what you don't want to do is spend hours and hours and hours trying to think of the biggest possible number. No, just pick easy ones and keep going and keep going. Good example of that here. I don't know the factors of 132 and 276. I don't know what divides into both of those numbers, but straight away I can spot they are even. If they're even, divides by 2. Another good one, if they end in 0 and 5, divides by 5. So I'm going to half it, divided by 2. Same to the top and bottom. Remember, no favourites here. That gives me 66 out of 138. Okay, but they're both even, so something else must divide. 2. So I divide by 2 again. That gives me 33 out of 69. Now I can see 3 goes into both of those numbers. And if you can't see it, you've just got to trial and error. Okay? Divide them both by 3, I get 11 out of 23. Now, prime numbers, and they don't divide into each other, so 11 isn't a factor of 23, so I've finished. Now what I needed to realise at the beginning was I could have divided by 2 times 2 times 3, which is going to be 12. But you don't need to do that. Yes, it would have been a little bit quicker, but it wouldn't have been quicker if you couldn't instantly see it, because you had to spend time working 12 out. Okay, so basically there is no correct way of doing it. There's no specific, you don't have to find the highest number. Yeah, you're not going to have to have divided 3 times, so yeah, maybe there's less chance you'll make a mistake, but as long as you're careful, spot the easiest number. It's much easier for you. Maths is all about being easy, it's about cheating, being lazy. Okay, another example. So what about 6 out of 4? Well again, they're even. I'm spotting a pattern. Divide by 2, that gives me 3 halves. Now, I could be finished, but actually if I'm simplifying this, I think there's a more simple way of writing it. If I quickly sketch 3 halves for you, that's what it looks like. You should be able to see there's another way of writing it. I could write that as 1 1/2, okay? Some people would say that is more simple, so converting from an improper or top-heavy fraction to a mixed number makes it more simple. Now, how to actually do that without drawing diagrams, because it's all very well if we have halves and only 3 of them. If we start having bigger numbers, it gets more complicated. Now what I've actually done, I've done 3 divided by 2. That gives me 1 whole 1, remainder 1. And it's as simple as that. Okay? So, have a look at another one. 846 out of 32. They're even, so I can simplify it. Now, factors of 16, I've only got 4, and that can't possibly go into 423 because it doesn't end in a number that could divide by 4. So that rules out 2, it rules out 4. That's it. Other than 16, and 16 doesn't go into 423 exactly. It does, however, go in 26 times. So 423 divided by 16 is 26, remainder 7. And now this question is fully simplified. Okay, if you have any questions, comment, but I think that pretty much covers it. Just don't stress out trying to find the highest possible number that goes into them all. Just keep plodding on. If they're both even, divide by 2. If they end in 0s and 5s, divide by 5. Okay, that's all for today then. Thank you very much, guys.